Γεια σας, I am Alki. This is my story coming to Australia. I was born 15th of June 1934 στην Αγία Παρασκευή, Lesbo. April the 19th, getting prepared to say goodbye to everyone there, to my village in Αγία Παρασκευή. Then in the morning, when the taxi ready to travel, there was full street of people, neighbors and relatives. They're sending me out like a film star. When we got down to Mytilene, where they supposed to get on the boat, it was almost sunset, and then from that we traveled all night. But we didn't sleep much there, too excited. And when we got to Piraeus, it died right outside of the Limani. When we left there and saying goodbye only to the father, I didn't get emotion to start to cry and all that. I was happy, looking forward for the trip. But when I got to Beirut, that's where I got my emotion, and I couldn't stop myself crying. Από το βαπόρι Έθνος, it picked up us from Piraeus, because that's where we left the mainland of Greece. Και πήγαμε we didn't come off, it's overnight trip. Afternoon till next morning. We got there, they took us off. We couldn't speak English or much good Greek anyway. We just reached port side, they took us to hotel. Εκεί ήταν like a good holiday. Τώρα όλοι για την Αυστραλία. Yes, the next morning I come and we got up, got the suitcase. That's all we had there. Clothes and everything. One suitcase. Some might have it too, but I had one. The big excitement, όλοι μας πήγαμε στο wharf of Portside and to see the big boat θα μας πάει στην Αυστραλία. We're getting into the boat called Kirinya now, and traveling through Suez Canal, and up we go. Όταν πήγαμε απάνω, ήταν beautiful. The journey started, it was nice, and we arrived at the bottom of where this canal finishes, on the Arabian side, and from there, we went to Colombo, India. But we didn't have any money to try the bananas. We saw bananas first time in our lives. Test the pockets, no money. Wait a minute, there's something we counted, it was 10 shillings. 10 shillings. In money that I don't know where I might have in my pocket. We bought bananas to eat for a week for 10 shillings in silver. The Indian salesmen of bananas, they wouldn't let us go without buying bananas. They saw the cash. That's my first time I tried bananas. And after the Colombo, we had to travel right through to Fremantle. No more stops. Colombo to Fremantle, it was a full week. You look all around, there's no land to see. What else to remember? Oh yeah, on the boat, every afternoon, I don't know what time it was, 3 or 4 o'clock in the afternoon, there's a bell rings, and we got to know it's ice cream in a cup to be served. We queue up. We didn't have to pay for it on the boat. Yeah, we get our ice cream, sit down, line up there and get it, and sit down and eat the ice cream. We never had anything like that back home. It's a big day when we saw Australia. They let us out with a guide at Australia, Fremantle, to look around. And it's exciting. We had Australia under our foot. Then to Melbourne, we arrived. That was just before dark. The paperwork's the agent took over and arranging a trip to Sydney by train. There, I used to call him uncle, but he was only 32. His name John Goodis from a year Paraskivi. When we got to Wingham, he gave me the first $1. No, it wasn't $1, it was a pound. He had a good life, Mazito. Well, different age to him, 16 years old, and after that he's 32. He teach me how to wash saucepans from the kitchen of the cafe, because everything done by hand, no washing machines for that at that time. I used to polish floors like this to the cafe with my niece. Polish it on Saturday night and shining it Sunday morning to give time to dry. John Goodis, he gave me a push bike for a present, I think my birthday, because in June was my birthday. Well, to give a push bike to my age, 16 years old, I got to go. He let me do free mind what I want to do. I worked 5 years with him, and I wanted to spread out in Australia to see Australia. There was 2 cafes in Wingham. The other cafe, they live in my friend, and which is Michael Barrow today. He was working on to the other cafe, and the other cafe owned by the same Yepaskivi man. Anyway, we got on now. After a few weeks, we arrived in Australia, and my boss tried to stop me. Nami pigano εκεί, opposition. And the other fella, he was much different person. He had a fella in Mori, had a cafe, the Omega Cafe. I don't know if it still survives. He made arrangements, na pau aqui. Well, he did a job. I gave him a notice nearly a month before I left. The Wingham, the John Woodies. I'm sorry, I'm got to go. I want to see Australia. His first name, I can't remember the first name, but the second name, surname, it was Contelli. Contellis. Jim Contellis, that's what. I stayed there 15 months, and getting close to Christmas, and I wanted to leave Mori. It's too dry, too isolated from other people, other towns. No mountains there, all straight. Jim is the youngest. I brought him over so we can spread on the business way. I wanted help, not by myself. I said to him, he's going to come, and he also wanted to come, and he'll learn more quicker than Tani, because Tani is going to go to the army first. So we brought the sister, Christophia, before Tani, so he can finish the army. When he finished the army, we bought the big shop in Foster. Charlie Pavlo had a small little shop he bought from Australesa γυναίκα. He wanted to go back to Cyprus and find a girl and get married. I didn't have enough money to buy his shop. So by the time he's going, and Jim, my brother, wanted to buy the shop with me, two brothers. He had a bit of money too. Got it together, 1,300 at that time. We managed with a bit of left over, the stock we had to can and all that. He said, don't worry, when I come back, I'll come and see you and you give me the balance. That's how our friendship started. Then from there, from Foster, I stayed 11 years. 11 years to θυμάμαι καλά. As the agent sold it to me, he advertised it in Sydney. Here comes two boys, two brothers there, to buy the shop. 11,000 from 1,300. That's how it goes. The best one is that when I married Christofia, Thea, I said to myself, well, it's my turn now. On her wedding, I met Yaya. And after 3 months engaged, without knowing her before, we got engaged and started planning the wedding. That's in Armadale. Telephone's too expensive. It would take a month to receive a letter from my father, my mother, whatever. My mother couldn't write Greek at all because the time she's supposed to learn, the Turkey occupation in Greece wouldn't let teachers teach. Yeah. And she didn't learn to write. My father used to write the letters. The Holy Bible. Tutuine is something protecting your life. Helen, where did we get this? You remember at all? Kevin Sekiris. They given to me when I got naturalized, 12th of December, 1958. I got naturalized. I was very pleased to become naturalized. Ακούγαμε που άλλοι elders, they become naturalized, and from then you follow the rules of Australia, so not the Greek ones. What I like Australia is we had freedom, never looked back. Nothing for me in Greece to make my home. My home was up till I left for Australia. Ah, you got it. I thought it was in the lockup. Hellenic Mediterranean Lines. Yes, that's the ticket. Yeah, all together, 30 days in 1 month. Here we are. Dear Sir, I refer to your application for naturalization. Dear Sir, well,